last 2 to 3 years, I've really seen a surge in inquiries from people who have dogs that have recently been diagnosed with some sort of autoimmune disease. And while I have spoken about this in the past in videos, I felt moved to once again raise this in today's video. Why is it that these diseases are increasing? I think there are actually 5 big reasons why we are seeing more and more of these immune diseases. So let's take a look. Hi there, Lyndall Pinchin, Canine Naturopath from Canine Vitality, and welcome to my channel, Happy Healthy Dogs. Now, where it's my passion to help you help your dog live a longer, healthier life naturally. Now, thank you so much for being here today. I really do appreciate you being here. And if you are new to my channel, then if you feel moved to, don't forget to subscribe and also to click on the little bell to be notified of all my upcoming videos. So what is going on with our dogs in regards to their immune systems? Now, firstly, I just want to explain briefly what an autoimmune disease is. Now, if your dog has been diagnosed with some sort of an autoimmune disease, this is essentially means that your doggy's immune system has become very confused, disoriented, and their body no longer can recognize the good cells versus bad cells, and the immune system actually starts to create an attack on those parts of the body, and it can be anywhere in the body. But common autoimmune diseases include inflammatory bowel disease, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis. Now, as the body is reacting against its own tissues, this actually also causes very large areas of inflammation and damaged tissue. And from a medical perspective, the exact cause of autoimmune diseases is really not known, but it's believed to be genetic. But we also know today that your dog's environment actually plays a really huge part in whether they will actually go on to develop such a disease if they are genetically prone. Now, veterinary treatments for any sort of autoimmune disease, regardless of what it is, really revolves around using drugs such as steroids to help to suppress this overactive immune response. But this is only a symptomatic band-aid treatment, and it's often the side effects of these drugs that can ultimately make your dog a lot sicker, and in some cases, unfortunately, lead to death. Now, years ago, these diseases were very uncommon, but just as immune issues are becoming much more prevalent in us as humans, so too are our dogs starting to suffer very similar problems. So while science believes that these are predominantly a genetic issue, I honestly believe that as much as this might be true, there's a lot more going on in terms of your dog's overall health and vitality and what they are being exposed to every day. So my 5 big reasons today start with diet. Now, we know that there are certain foods that can either heal or damage the body. And in the case of any sort of autoimmune disease, this is where you can really make a big and positive impact on your dog's health. Now, processed foods, grains, and other poor quality or inappropriate foods can actually trigger some sort of autoimmune response. Now, why is this? Well, essentially, it's because about 80% of your dog's immune system is in their gut tissue. So naturally, whatever they eat can really impact on the immune system. So you want to really focus on organic and fresh foods where possible. This will include lots of good quality proteins, good fats such as coconut oil, hemp seed oil, etc., and small amounts of vegetables. Now, you want to avoid known allergy foods as well, of course, and all processed foods and treats like I mentioned. Now, the second issue is leaky gut syndrome. Now, leaky gut syndrome is a condition where the intestinal lining of your dog's gut actually becomes very damaged and permeable. due to a number of factors. Now you can learn a little bit more about my leaky gut videos. I'll leave the link below in the description box, but this can really open the way for immune problems to be triggered. Now, along with a genetic tendency, the health and integrity of your dog's gut is a known factor as to whether they will go on to develop an autoimmune disease in that full-blown way, and it's a really significant trigger. So number 3, chemicals. Look, our dogs' bodies truly are amazing machines, and they're very forgiving in terms of the chemical load that they are being exposed to on an everyday level. But you know, over time, this chemical burden can really place a great deal of stress on your dog's body, and in particular their immune system. Now, chemicals can be found in a variety of ways: processed foods, vaccinations, chemical flea, tick and worming products, all your household cleaning products, exhaust fumes and all sorts of other fumes that might be in the environment, medications and so on. All of these can lead to leaky gut, which we mentioned a moment ago, inflammation, and also can trigger the immune system into this autoimmune state. By limiting the chemicals that your dog is being exposed to, by making some more natural and cleaner choices in the products that you use, this can really help take a lot of that burden off the body and reduce the potential to cause more serious health issues, particularly around that immune system. Number 4, infections. Now, does your dog suffer from some sort of recurring or persistent infection? Now, it might be a bacterial, fungal, viral, or parasitic. Did you know that this can also be a trigger for an autoimmune disease? Now, research has shown that in many cases of autoimmunity, there has actually been some sort of infection that precedes the triggering of it. Now, this might be something like a gut parasite infection like Giardia. It could be some sort of an ongoing yeast infection. It could be a bacterial, viral, some other type of infection. But it is important to remember with regards to infections that for most dogs, this won't be the only trigger. That'll be usually a combination of this and some other trigger that might put them into that state of autoimmune disease. It might be poor gut health and so on. So those other things often need to be present. And our 5th one today is stress. Now, it's a strange question to ask whether you think our dogs are stressed or anxious. Now, I mean, aren't we giving them, a lot of love, wonderful life, and so on? What is there to be stressed about? But the reality is that there are many, many dogs out there that are suffering from stress and anxiety, and it can be definitely another trigger in this situation of autoimmune diseases. Now, the chronic elevation of stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol can very much weaken your dog's immune system and also make it very difficult for the body to regulate and manage states of inflammation, which we mentioned before. Now, pain, irritation, abuse, poor living conditions, difficult family situations, and a whole variety of other factors, and not even allowing a dog to just be a dog, can create massive stress for them. And while this is really a topic for another video, at least being aware of the potential stress your dog may be experiencing, that's really the first step to being able to address it, and one less factor in that potential trigger of any sort of autoimmune disease. Now, remember, it really only takes one of these triggers to set things off, particularly if your dog does have that genetic tendency. And usually it's leaky gut that is one of the most common triggers. Now, in most cases, you probably won't know if your dog has that genetic tendency towards developing some sort of immune issue. So to me, it really makes sense as a preventative to try and eliminate any potential triggers where possible. And you can, as I said before, you can check out some of my other videos on these topics, including leaky gut, and I will leave the links in the description box below. So as I said, it makes sense to me to actually try and avoid these. And autoimmune diseases are a complex set of diseases. They can be difficult to treat. And, while there's definitely merit in using drugs such as steroids in that life-saving stage, These will only ever really provide symptomatic relief for your dog's issue, and we really want to focus on the whole of your dog's body and seeing how we can start to bring things back into balance naturally by addressing these issues that I've mentioned. And this is going to really help to bring this autoimmune disease back, into more of a balanced state. Whether there's 100% cure, they are a difficult thing to get on top of, but you can definitely help manage them by using a lot of these natural regimes. Now, if you've got a dog at the moment that's suffering from some sort of autoimmune disease, I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your story, what you're going through, and also feel free to reach out to me if you do need further support or guidance. I'd love to hear from you in that way too. So if you enjoyed today's video, I hope you did. I hope you found it of some benefit. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel moved to. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. So have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.